Hey guys, welcome back to LoopHub. Today we'll talk about the most disgusting Dr. Pimple Popper moments that made us shudder. Let's get into it. Number 1. Twin sisters with their golf ball-sized cysts. Dr. Pimple Popper generally only sees one patient at a time, but on tonight's edition of her show Dr. Pimple Popper, she treated fraternal twins who had the identical skin disease. Dr. Sandra Lee saw Tracy and Stacy from National City, California after they both acquired several golf ball-sized lumps on their scalps. They said they initially noticed lumps about 15 years ago and they've been happening ever since. "I just want a normal life," Stacy said. "I simply want to go out in public without being stared at." Tracy and Stacy decided to attend Dr. Pimple Popper together after their daughters advised them to get the lumps looked out for health reasons. "I don't want our family to be concerned about us," Tracy stated. Pillar cysts are the most frequent type of cysts, and they most commonly appear on the scalp. According to the National Institute of Health, pillar cysts affect less than 10% of the population and are usually non-cancerous. When keratin, a protein contained in skin cells, is removed from beneath the skin, it appears as a thick white liquid. These tumors are inherited, according to Lee, which explains why the sisters were the first in their family to develop pillar cysts. Their identical genetics, on the other hand, could indicate that they have similar skin type, which, according to Lee, could explain why they both had the same skin problem. Dr. Pimple Popper began by injecting a numbing medication into each of her 3 cysts. She cut right through the core of the largest cyst behind Tracy's ear, which immediately ejected a grayish-white substance that looked like mustard, according to Stacy. Lee was able to get rid of the rest before moving on to the second one, which had a more oatmeal-like texture but erupted in the same way as the first. Dr. Pimple Popper started treating Tracy's final growth. She remarked, "Brace yourself for impact." Lee was able to successfully remove the cyst and sew all 3 up after even more spurting. Stacy was the next one to go, and her cysts were a little more difficult to remove. This is due to the fact that some of them had opened and oozed over time. When the cysts healed after they had opened up, scar tissue formed on the inside of her skin. Lee was able to quickly remove one of Stacy's 3 cysts in the center of her head after numbing them. It caused a large hole in Lee's shirt, which she patched up. Because of the thickness, the other 2 proved more challenging, but Dr. Pimple Popper continued, squeezing out the yellow and brown insides with her fingertips. The final cyst even put on a show, squirting so forcefully it splattered all over Lee's office walls. Lee sewed up Stacy's cyst and sent her on her way, just like she did with Tracy. Tracy explained, "Sisters who spray together, stay together. Old cheek cyst." Dr. Pimple Popper has kept up with her deluge of acne-related videos despite the busy maker cyst season. On Monday, she posted a YouTube video in which she described how she treated a 3-year-old cheek cyst on a woman's face. According to the Mayo Clinic, Dr. Pimple Popper, whose real name is dermatologist Dr. Sandra Lee, diagnosed the development as an epidermis cyst, a form of cyst that develops when skin cells burrow and multiply beneath the skin. Epidermoid cysts usually grow slowly and are not unpleasant. Lee used an injection to number the cyst and then made a small oval-shaped incision on the apple of the woman's cheek where the cyst was growing to treat it. Because it was difficult to force push out of the incision at first, she dubbed the cyst a troublemaker. Lee used scissors to free the cyst from the cavity she'd created. The cyst was difficult to remove, said to Lee, since the woman had crushed it a lot on her own, causing scar tissue to form on the inside of the skin. Lee was able to extract a little mass that resembled a rubble ball with tweezers after more cutting and squeezing. The outside of the growth felt rubbery, according to Dr. Pimple Popper. Lee used a cauterizing pen to stop bleeding in the wound and sewed it up to seal it after she removed the cyst completely. Number 3. Squeezing out slimy bits from a 5-year-old growth. Surprising treatments are among Dr. Pimple Popper's most popular. In a recent lipoma extraction shared by the celebrity dermatologist on YouTube was no exception. A lipoma is a fat-filled growth that develops between the muscle layer and the skin layer of a person. Lipomas form when a fat cell multiplies and creates its own little world beneath the skin, as Lee explained in the video. She could only get a little chunk of fat out at first. However, when she squeezed the growth, a wet, yellow, chunky lump popped out to the surface. She snipped that part away and kept cutting and squeezing until the lipoma was mostly gone and only a cavity in the patient's skin remained. It's like a hidden pocket where you don't know where the opening is and you have to mess about a little bit, Lee explained in the video. She also stated that eliminating these little lipoma fragments is critical because if she does not, they may regrow. Lee employed surgical stitches to cover the cavity left in the patient's skin after she removed all of the lipoma. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen right now because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you next video.